This is Leon S. Kennedy, and you're watching the Infinite Ammo Syndicate podcast. If you want to survive, then remember to shoot him in the head.
Infinite ammo.
All right, perfect. Greetings, ladies and gentle monsters. I am your gracious host, Immortal Brando, and I'm joined here by these lovely freaks of natures and a very, very, very special guest, the voice of Leon of RE2R Remake. Mr. Nick, please introduce yourself.
Hey, yes, my name is Nick. That's a really cool intro. I like that. Ladies and gentle monsters. What's up, guys? This is Nick Apostolides. Yes, I voiced Leon Kennedy in the RE2 remake, and here for probably what is the last interview of the year. This is a big honor, so thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. All right. Andre, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Andre Bevan, and we're here with, man of the honor, Mr. Nick, aka Leon S. Kennedy.
All right, Bluntcast, introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Bluntcast. I'm a survival horror streamer, and this is my first time on the podcast, so this is quite a trial by fire.
Welcome.
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 All right, Undead Gaming.
Hi, my name's Deadman Gaming. I just am undead in the Discord chat, but I'm Deadman Gaming. I like games, and I run a small YouTube channel where I go down the things and I nitpick, but in a positive way.
Very cool.
All right, Clean Daniel, introduce yourself.
God damn it, Brandon, why do you do this? I swear. But anyways, hey, what's going on, everyone? It's good to be here, and it's also nice to have the voice of Leon S. Kennedy, one of my favorite RE characters, in here with us, Nick Apostolides. Thanks for joining us, dude.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, Lady Tinjoin. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I'm just literally reading it as it is.
It's all good. Yeah, my name is Lady, and this is my first time in this podcast. I have a small YouTube channel that I dedicated my time with survival horror games, and I'm a big fan of you, Nick.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. We get a lot of first timers here. I'm a first timer myself.
Yep.
That's true. All right, and Renegade Operative, if you can speak, introduce yourself.
Hello people, I'm Renegade Operative. I run a YouTube channel where I talk about Resident Evil and all sorts of stuff, and I cannot wait to get into this interview.
All right, and Desiree, if you can speak, hopefully, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Desiree. I'm a horror survival streamer as well, and this is actually my first interview. I'm super nervous, but super excited.
All right, perfect.
You guys shouldn't be nervous. I'm just a fan like you guys, really.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that's true.
It's also my first time, too.
Yep.
Look at that. I'd say more than 50% are newbies, and I'm one of them. Awesome.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, we can all be new bloods together.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
We're all rookies. We're all rookies now.
All right.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. To start this off, though, I'll read up number one. Can you tell the audience about yourself and what roles you done in the past?
For video games or just any kind of projects?
In general, anything.
Well, I started acting a little over a decade ago, and I just started in the Boston area in a small, tight-knit film and TV community, and I just started with like student films, really, and then I got into some music videos. Then you get into indie shorts and indie features, and then you just work your way up, and I even did a lot of commercial work, training the voice and everything, and then eventually I moved to LA. I did a lot of the same kind of stuff, smaller scale projects, and then one day I booked the role of a lifetime, and that's why I'm here. It's a long story, but that's kind of like the short end of the stick. So if you have any like particular questions, happy to answer them.
Okay, well, I'm not sure that's a question in the document, but I might as well just ask. What's your favorite role thus far? It could be including Leon or without Leon.
I mean, you said it can be this one?
Yes.
Well, it is this one. It's going to be hard to top, guys, just because I've been a Resident Evil fan for 22 years at this point, and I mean, when you get the chance to work with a developer like Capcom, like who, you know, I've been playing Capcom games for 30 years, longer than probably most of you have been alive. And so when the developer says, "Hey, we want to hire you," I mean, think about what that is like. It's hard to top that. Moving forward, I don't know how that's going to happen, but hey, maybe one day it will. And then to do like the remake, the reimagining of the first game in the series you ever played, it's just like it's a mind fuck. Can I swear on this channel?
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yes,
can.
you can.
You're welcome
it's,
to.
it's
fucking
really it's really like a mind fuck if you think about it. Like if you told me this 10 years ago, like you will be acting in video games in your favorite series, I wouldn't believe you. But that's how life works, and you have to take the good with the bad and vice versa. And so I'm very fortunate, but this is it.
All right. All right. Andre, you can read up number 2.
All right, gotcha. Number 2, what motivated you to pursue a career as a voice actor?
Well, it was actually not my focus. It's kind of cliche to say you kind of fell into it, but that's kind of sort of what happened. It wasn't voice acting that I necessarily wanted to pursue, but I wanted to act in video games, which includes voiceover. You know what I mean? A lot of very talented voiceover actors, they just do the voice, but my focus, I wanted to do motion capture, which oftentimes incorporates both. So nowadays you're seeing a trend in video games where they want to hire the motion capture actor to do also the voice, and that's what they did with this reimagining. They wanted to find someone who could move like Leon, who somewhat looked like Leon, and of course, who had his voice. And luckily, I had all three, and that's why I had a shot at getting in. If they were casting this strictly on voice, to be honest, I don't think I would have booked this. It's the fact that I could move like a cop, and I had a lot of firearms training and stunt training as well. So I lucked out in that now that I'm in the video game world, yes, of course, I'm still training. I'm trying to improve on my skills all the time and explore new avenues, and I definitely want to voice more characters for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I think what you said about your firearm and combat experience, that actually really can help you a lot in the long run. Because
yes,
usually when you're doing motion capture, you have to do. I want to do a lot of movements, but I know you gotta do like a lot of stuff like fight scenes, a lot of action stuff like that. So that can really come in handy in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, look at video games. So many of them require, or they have like cinematics that are action based. You know what I'm talking about? Like you play all kinds of games, and the more skills, talents that you have, the better off you'll be, and the better shot you'll have at like booking that particular role because you know how to work with swords. You know what I mean? Like you never know what they're going to look for, and so the more stuff you got in your tool belt, the better for you.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So I wanted to make a quick interjection with you saying you had firearms training. What kind of avenue led you to have that kind of training? That especially since it helped you book the role of Leon.
I was about to ask the same question.
Independent short film and feature films in the Boston area.
Oh, nice.
We were just running around with no budget, no money, and we were making these little like action films. And my good buddy James Poirier, he's an action director, he's a brilliant guy. He wanted to hire me as like a couple military roles, as like lead roles in short films, and he taught me everything I need to know about firearms movement, tactical movement, all that shit. And then I got into stunts naturally from doing that.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, Deadman, actually, I want you to take number 3.
All right, I can do that. All right, so question 3 is: we hear that you're a big fan of Resident Evil. Can you tell us how you became a fan of the franchise for the first time?
Yeah, I was sleeping over my buddy's house back when I was probably like 12 years old or something like that. And he's like, "Hey, you want to play this zombie game?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's play it." And it was RE2, the OG in '98, and it just like stuck with me ever since. And I fell in love, and I introduced it to my little cousin. And then 3 came out. Like, we just went through the whole gamut. And then my little brother was born at that point. And when 4 came out, he was 9 years old. Introduced him to the series, probably arguably too early. He had nightmares for like a month, but he fell in love too. And then it's been like a family thing with us, and it's by far been my favorite franchise since 1998. So
I have a side question. Is there any other horror franchises that you are into currently outside of RE?
Not currently, but I mean, I want to get back into them. I mean, definitely, I got to give a shout out to like Silent Hill. That was a big inspiration for me. I love survival horror. I just love it. I love the thrills, the scares. The original Silent Hill was a fucked up game. It was psychologically just disturbing at that time. That came out around probably like 98 too, or 99. So I loved Silent Hill and also Dead Space. I got into that. I played all those games. That's a different kind of survival horror, but I love that just as much too.
My man.
Actually,
I was about to say, man after my own heart.
The audience can only love you so much, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
I just played the first 2 like this year.
yeah, I've been through the
Dead
games
Space or
as well.
Silent Hill?
Dead Space.
Yeah, Dead Space.
Those are good
Playing
games.
through the
Oh, yeah.
first Dead Space right now.
Uh,
I said I'm playing through the first Dead Space right now, and it's actually pretty phenomenal.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
This
And
one
the
is
aliens are
really damn
horrifying.
good. It's a
Mhm.
really good game. 2, I like 2, but I think 1 just did atmosphere a lot better. But that's just me personally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To actually add on to Rengate's question though, do you like any other franchise outside the survival horror realm? You know.
Of course, I love Final Fantasy. I still play Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games. Huge fan of the Castlevania series. I just played a bunch of those in quarantine. Like Symphony of the Night was a great game. Rondo of Blood. I went back to the Nintendo versions of that. But yeah, Final Fantasy, all the Mega Mans. I've got into Call of Duty huge this year because of quarantine, especially. Always been a fan of Tom Clancy games, Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six, games like that.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Splinter
Yeah,
Cell
so I mean,
is awesome. Such a good series.
there's so many games, and honestly, like there's so much going on in my life. I don't have the time I want to play. There are so many games I want to play, and I just have to kind of bide my time a little bit and still keep working. So I have a list of like 100 games I need to play, but I'll get back to them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's
quick
basically
question,
that's how backlog goes.
All right, one more side question. Go ahead, Andre.
Did you play the 7 remake, Nick, or no?
Oh, can you say that one more time?
Have you played
did you
the
play-
Final Fantasy VII remake?
Yeah, the
No,
remake of 7.
but it's I bought it like 3 weeks ago, and that's like next on my list because Final Fantasy VII, the original, was a huge part of my teen years. Loved the game, fell in love.
Nice.
Nice.
All right,
Such a
perfect.
good game.
It is. It's amazing.
All right, Daniel, can you take on number 4?
Sure. All right. What are your thoughts on Leon S. Kennedy and how he progressed as a character throughout the entire series?
Well, it's interesting. It's a good character arc over many, many years. Eventually, he just gets jaded. I understand why. You know, no matter how many times he does the right thing and he tries to save the day, things just go to shit and there's a new outbreak. I mean, it's just like more of the same, and then we see that arc. Was Vendetta? Was that the oldest we've ever seen him, or was that before?
Yeah, it's Vendetta.
Vendetta's the oldest
after
one.
6.
Yeah.
Right, and he's jaded. You know, he's had it. He's done with the shit, and so I get it. And you know, it's really fun after seeing Vendetta, going back and then playing the reimagining of the first time we see him. It's like everything went full circle, and it's back to the roots, you know. And here we are back at like the Boy Scout, the wide-eyed Boy Scout Leon Kennedy, optimistic, naive. You know, it's kind of fun. It was fun to go backwards.
All right,
Awesome.
perfect. Bluntcast, you want to read off number 5?
With pleasure. So you've already established that Leon S. Kennedy was sort of the dream role for you. But is there any other dream role that you wanted to do outside of Leon S. Kennedy? Is there any role outside of the Capcom franchises that you wish you could just sort of snap your fingers and have? What would it be?
I've been asked this a lot, and it's much less about the dream character I want to play and more just about the types of games I want to be in and the other franchises I want to be in. So, like, I almost booked a character role in the latest Call of Duty. And so like that, like to be a character in a Call of Duty in say like a Castlevania. I know Mega Man is just like really just like 2D scrolling mostly, but if I could ever voice something in Mega Man, that would be like really nostalgic for me. To be in Silent Hill, Uncharted, if there was like a reboot of Uncharted or something, games like that would be really fun.
So it's sort of primarily more ones that you have nostalgia for, or that sort of have played into sort of your trajectory throughout your life.
It's a nostalgia thing. It's always like let's say Red Dead 3 came out and I booked a role in Red. Hey, that would be great, but I didn't grow up playing Red Dead. I would have a blast. I would appreciate the opportunity. It would be really fun. But it's the games that I grew up with and the franchises that are like in my blood. To work in those, there's nothing that can top that, you know.
Absolutely, that emotional weight has so much resonance in the role. Absolutely,
yeah, so much.
Awesome.
So, like, it would also be kind of a dream to get, say, like another voice role in whatever part 2 they're coming up with for Final Fantasy VII, the remake.
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to see. I would love to see you in like a Final Fantasy game, or even like a new Castlevania if it ever happens. That'd be sick.
Oh, I would die, yeah. And I may or may not know one of the producers for Final Fantasy, so maybe let's cross our fingers, team.
Oh,
you should get that ball rolling.
Make this man another first-class soldier.
I know you.
Maybe.
Oh.
I know what you mean.
All right, Renegade. You want to get up number 6? If you could speak.
Yeah. How do you feel about the outreach and support that you received from the Resident Evil fan community once you were casted as Leon?
Oh, I was taken in with open arms. It was really amazing and really unexpected. You see, during the filming process, I would say before the game came out, I didn't know what to expect. It was the first major video game I was ever a part of, and I didn't take into account how big the franchise is. I wasn't even very aware of like the online fan community. I just played the games, and I was never into streaming or anything like that. And when people started reaching out for like interviews, and I saw all the podcasts and the channels and content creators, I realized real quick how big the fan community is. And look, to this day, I'm still doing interviews with guys like you and girls like you. And it's been really special. It was just a whole nother bonus that just came along with the territory. And it's been wonderful. It's really warming, to think about it. And even some days when you're having a hard time, I can always think like, the fan community still accepts me and they welcome me into the family, and it makes me feel good. So I'm happy.
Oh yeah, we're one big happy family.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least they didn't welcome you to the family like Jack Baker did.
Oh God, no.
Welcome to the family, son.
Anything but that mold.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't want to derail the talk too much, but sort of as an anecdotal thing, I had the privilege of being at the RE2 sort of launch event, and I bumped into the community manager for Europe, Kat, and she was amazing. We had a discussion, and at one point she was just sort of saying, Leon is amazing. Like the cast is amazing. And she was so ecstatic with how it all turned out. And, she'd been a lifelong RE2 fan, and she was singing your praises. So
that's really nice.
At every level, I can tell you the community is.
Were you at E3?
No, it was the RE2 sort of safe house event in London. I was lucky enough to attend that. And it was
that's
rad to bump into some of the team there.
I am jealous of you, I'll tell you that.
It was too close for comfort. It was too realistic. There were too many close calls for me. I wouldn't have made it out like Leon did. So
that's funny.
Just gotta be careful, man.
Yeah.
All right. Number 7.
The-
Lady Tenjin. We read that one off.
7?
If yes, number 7.
Okay. So, Nick, if you could make a list of 3 favorite Resident Evil titles, then what would they be personally? Describe them to us.
Well, that's a tough one there are so many that I like.
Try your best.
Well, I mean, I gotta pay homage to the OG 2 because that was what introduced me to the series. So that
Same
is
here.
absolutely on the list. It has to be. Then I would say because I got to introduce my little bro to the series with 4. 4 has to be on the list because I introduced him like I was introduced, and that kind of started like a whole love of the franchise. So for nostalgia purposes, 4 is on there, and it would almost be sacrilege for me not to say that RE2 Remake is, just because it was the only one that I was a part of the collaborative process. You know, I was invited to help them create something that wasn't created yet, and for me, that will forever be one of the best times of my life. So it's got to be those 3 if it had to be any.
It's a good list.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I
Oh,
Easy.
We
well,
lost somebody.
we lost somebody.
we
Well,
lost
until
we
you.
lost the rookie. Oh wait, no, he's back.
Okay. Desiree, can you have number 8?
Sure. Do you have any other voice actors that you appreciate in the industry? Any personal favorites to list off?
Well, I really, because I'm somewhat new to that world, I'm really appreciative of my fellow cast. They all did an amazing job. I learned a lot from them, and we developed friendships that we'll have forever. The whole cast was just great, and I've also now befriended the actors from RE3 Remake, and they're wonderful people as well, and we stream together sometimes, and I've had a blast all year with them, so highly respect them. And also, I get to give props to Paul Haddad and Paul Mercier. They were big inspirations for me starting out. Paul Mercier, and I've told him since, he obviously voiced Leon in RE4. He was the first performance I ever listened to that inspired me to want to do this. Back then, I would talk with my little brother, 15 years ago, and we would sit there, play RE4, beat it like for the 20th time, and we'd be like, imagine if we could be in these games one day, and we would all like talk about it, and like we loved Leon's voice in that, and so I get to give props to him as well.
All right.
4 was the one that got me into the series, and you say 9 was too young for your brother. I was like 14 or 15 when I played 4 for the first time, and those
I was
regenerators scared
when
the
I played
absolute
3.
piss out of me.
Yeah, that's why David had nightmares.
I got into RE with 4. I was about, I want to say 10 when I played RE4. That was like 15 years ago.
I was 8 when I played RE3, and that was like around 2008, something like that, you know. So, all was younglings.
I got introduced to the series with my brother blasting through RE2 original on the N64, so that's how I knew about the series at first.
It was a great game.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Still
definitely
is.
pretty interesting that you got your brother into it so young, because I was way too scared to get all the way through it back then.
I kind of forced them, and thank you now.
That's what you got to do with little brothers, right?
Sit
That's
here
how the
and play
nightmares
this.
Not always.
Yeah,
Not, you
condition
don't gotta
them.
force them
Oh,
always.
no.
You gotta condition them for the scary stuff, you know?
All right. Yeah, I'll read up number 9. What are some of your favorite animes and animated films on the market?
So I looked at this question. I actually don't have a good answer for it, and the reason is because, especially lately, I haven't been watching a lot of TV or movies. When you say on the market, you mean like recent ones, kind of nowish?
Past, current, future. Yeah, up to you.
Just in general.
I would really have to think about that. I'm not good at these questions, but I would say the most interesting thing that I binged when it came out about maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago was I think Love, Sex, and Robots. Or Love,
That's
Death,
so
Love, Death
good.
and
I
Robots.
think I've heard of that show before.
I've
It's
never heard
so
of it.
good.
I've heard good things about that.
It's got a very unique art style.
Oh, you should totally see that. It's like 10 short episodes of a series, and every episode is directed by a different person, and the style is completely different, and the stories are just amazing. I loved them. I loved them all, and I binged that in I think one night. It's not long.
It's called Love, Death, and Robots.
Love, Death, and Robots. There we go.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's so good. I think I did
Love
about
it.
the same. I binged it in a day just after work.
Well, it makes it
Uh-huh.
even funnier with the original description.
Yeah,
Yeah, robots. Seems about right.
yeah, but that
I
sticks
gotta
out to
say,
me.
like-
Really cool.
Like on that, I think the anthology shows are really kicking it out of the park because
Yeah,
Love,
yeah.
Death, and Robots, Black Mirror, and Monsterland, like all three of those are really good.
Black Mirror is yeah. I saw all those seasons, including the originals from the BBC. Or
Oh, really? I haven't seen
The-
those.
yeah, watch the original first and second season. It was done I think in the UK. I think it was on BBC. I'm not sure what station, but you should check those out.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
definitely.
Thank you for the question.
Hey, Ren, want to read number 10?
Hold on. Okay. So, as a professional voice actor, are you a fan of film, theater, or television? Did it influence your career personally?
I would say the thing that influenced me the most was definitely film. Of those three, certain movies growing up, they just instilled like aesthetics in my brain, like performance aesthetics and tones. I got to appreciate the tone of a film and characters and stuff, and I think that just really subconsciously shaped me. Although I didn't start acting until pretty late. I started when I was about 25 or 26, and I don't know, just that was my biggest inspiration for sure.
All right. Daniel, you want to take it number 11?
Sure. All right. What are your thoughts to the idea of full body mocap? Describe your experience to us.
Well, it's very different than what I was used to because number one, you've got all the gear on. You're wearing like a helmet with the camera in front of you. You're in a Velcro suit, basically, it's like a leotard with Velcro and little balls all over you, and you've got battery packs, so it's strange. Also, I'm so used to filming on location on sets, and when you're doing mocap, you're in basically like a big empty bright warehouse that's lined with cameras, infrared cameras, and you have to imagine everything's there. So I mean, think about the atmosphere of RE2, for instance. It was really dark. It was like a burning city, Raccoon City, dark police station, and we were filming in a perfectly lit room, and you have to imagine that atmosphere. So it's probably more like theater in that way, where you're not on set. You have to use your imagination a lot. Those are the biggest differences. I've grown to love it just because I know what I'm creating. And with the technology now, when you have the suit on, in real time, you can look at the monitor and they can put your character on your body. So when we were filming the scenes, I could see Leon moving around on the screen, and it was me.
Awesome. That's so cool.
And like when I was
Cool.
fighting G3, the actor playing G3, his name was TJ Rotolo. On the screen, he was G3, so he was walking around as just the actor, and on screen it was G3, and we were just like chasing each other around and stuff, and it was pretty trippy. I was like, wow, this is what it's gonna look like, just a lot better.
It's nice.
That's
Yeah.
So
awesome.
when you said TG Rotolo, I was like, wait, Frank West? Huh?
Yeah.
Frank
No, he's
West
a
is Birkin.
guy. He's a really intense actor. He gives a lot. He's a good scene partner, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Is it ever disorienting? It just seems like
Uh,
it would be.
Well, in what way?
Like if you have to imagine yourself there, and then you said you had like the screen. I'm not entirely sure like how it works. But you said you had the screen, and it was like such a dark like place to be. Like the whole video game is pretty dark, but you were in such a bright warehouse, and you're in this costume, and like, was it comfortable? Was it disorienting? Was it?
Yeah, there are challenges. It's not disorienting. That's not the right word for it. But as an actor, there's a lot that you have to kind of block out, right? So you really have to focus on just what is happening in the scene. So you have to hit marks and everything. You know, if you're snooping around the corner and everything, you have to know where the corner is because you're not on set. But once you get past the technology, the cameras and everything, it's really just down to the roots and basics of acting, which is connecting with your scene partner and knowing what the scene is about, and that's all. So, I mean, a lot of the deep scenes that I had were with Ada, and the actress was Jolene Anderson. I'm great friends with her now. She's a lovely human, and a lot of our scenes just required a lot of that. Like, you have to be in the moment. So forget the fact that you're sitting on a bench made out of 2x4s. No, that's the cable car, and you have to convince her that, you know, you want to help her and everything, and then she kisses you. You got to be there in the moment, and you let the developers take care of the rest. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't worry about the technology. Just get past it and remember what your acting classes were all about, and that's connecting with your scene partner.
All right. Actually, we spoken to Jolene a few months ago.
Yeah,
she's
we
great.
did. We had an interview with her, and she was really
Yeah,
nice
Jolene,
about it.
Jolene's awesome. She's a great person. Love her to
Indeed.
death.
All right, and for our final question, wow, our very last one. Let's see, who should I pick for the last one?
Eli hasn't
Yeah.
Eli, you go then.
Are there,
I forgot
so,
you used this. My apologies.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Damn. Come on. Man.
So for our closing question, are there any tips that you would give to people who want to be voice actors? People who are inexperienced as beginners?
Yeah, that's a good question. Number one, the most important thing I'd have to say is you have to want it for the right reasons. Voice acting is tough. There is a lot of competition, and I never ever say that to deter someone from starting. I just want you to understand that there's a lot of really, really, really talented people wanting those roles. You know what I mean? And if you want to do this, you have to be willing to go all the way and give it a really, really hard effort, you know. You got to train your ass off. I suggest taking acting classes. A lot of people don't realize that voice actors are absolutely, first and foremost, actors, and they've just fine-tuned their voice to give the performance strictly through a microphone. That's not the world I came from. You know, I came from an on-camera performance background, so I could say things with my eyes and my body language. But when you're a voice actor saying it through the microphone, they can't see what you're doing with your body. You've got to manufacture that with your voice. You have to understand the basics of acting. And as I said, you have to be willing to go all the way. So it's not something you can just dabble in and luck out. Yes, I was new to the VO world when I booked this role, but what got me in is my acting chops that I had learned over the past like 7 years prior. Plus, I had a lot of control over my voice because of my commercial experience, and also I had my physical and stunt training as well. So, you know, it was a culmination of like many, 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 many years of experience, and that's what you'd have to go through if you want to book some big legitimate roles like that. You can absolutely work in smaller markets. In the Boston area where I started, I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was having a damn good time, and I was booking indie shorts and indie films that you can probably find online somewhere from like a decade ago. And some of them weren't that great, but they were all fun, and they all just were a part of the story. You know, that's a long answer. I hope it kind of sort of clears things up.
Yeah, that worked. It was a good answer.
I ramble sometimes.
No.
It's all good.
We
Yeah, you're
appreciate
good,
it.
man.
Like in depth about it.
Mhm.
Definitely good advice.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, if anyone wants to go for it, even in this group, go for it. It's fun as hell.
Mhm.
You have to be willing to go the distance, you know.
All right.
It's good advice.
His words.
Wise man has spoken.
Yes.
Indeed.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just
The-
Make your dreams come true.
Make your dreams.
What are you waiting for?
Don't let your memes be Don't let the memes be memes.
So, Brendan, the special outro that I typed to you.
No, let's say that after we got everything sorted with our outros.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. First things first, Andre. Let's start with the main cast. Outro yourself.
You can find me at Twitter, Andre B. Vim. But yeah, this was a great interview. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you for having me, guys. I just saw in the chat too. Yeah, Chris says hi. Yeah, what's up, Chris? I don't know if he's listening, but he'll hear this eventually. So what's up, Chris?
We'll be listening in spirit.
Bluntcast, outro yourself, good sir.
With pleasure. You can catch me over at twitch.tv/Bluntcast, where I will talk your ears off about Ludo historians and the history of zombies. I got a master's in studying that, so that's how I've spent my life. So come on by, and I'll talk your ears off.
Undead Gaming, outro yourself.
All right, well, Undead Man Gaming, Nick, it was a pleasure talking to you. I just absolutely love how much of a nerd you are, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Hell yeah.
You can find me on YouTube. You know, come check it out if you get tired of the negative bullshit and just want to hear somebody gush about how awesome games are.
That's great.
All right, Dirty Daniel, outro yourself.
All right. You can find me mostly on Twitter at @TheDirtyDan_. And Nick, it was really awesome talking to you. It's just so awesome to have the person who did the voice for one of my favorite RE characters, and also someone who likes Oreos just as much as I do.
Yeah, Oreo shout out.
Yes.
Hashtag Leon loves Oreos.
Okay, we're using that one, Ren.
Please do.
All right, Gamma Eli, outro yourself.
Alright, you can find me on Twitter at Gamma Alias. I basically retweet stuff that these guys favorite. But other than that, I love video games just as much as anyone else here, and it's an honor to have this interview with you, Nick.
Yes, it has been a pleasure.
Lady 10, outro yourself.
Hello, I'm Lady, and you can find me on YouTube at Lady10Join. I'm playing Visage right now. That's a great survival horror game. And Nick, I'm more in love with you right now. So that's it. That's it. Just gushing here.
You put the bad on the post that, Andre.
It really is.
These guys are just gushing over Oreos in chat.
Look, we love Oreos. You hate them.
I love it.
Renegade, outro yourself, please.
Okay, you can find me at YouTube at Renegade Operative. I will be streaming on Twitch at Renegade_Operative, and that's where I mostly am. Follow me on Twitter too at RenOperative_.
Very cool.
Desiree.
You can find me on Twitter at Desiree_Veronica, and you can also find me on Twitch at VersaVulture24, where I play mostly survival horror games. So if you like watching people freak out, that's me. Also, super nice to meet you, Nick, and very informative interview.
I'm glad I could be of service, and yes, I love seeing people get scared to death doing these games, and I'll try to tune in. Everybody here, you should hit me up on like Twitter or something, and I'll find you and I'll follow your channels.
For sure.
I'm pretty
Try to
sure
come up with me
most
here
of
and
us
there.
are
For
following
sure.
You just killed me right now.
I know, same.
You're going to regret extending that offer.
Shaking. I'm shaking.
Don't be shaking. Save it for your stream, and I'll come watch it.
I think you're making it worse.
No, you're making it better. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get my outro and then one to Nick. You can find me on Twitter at Immortal Brendel, Twitch at Sword Brendel. I barely stream though, but when I do, it's just vanilla stuff. And everything else is none of your business. Shut up. All right. And last but not least, the man of the hour, or I should say 30 minutes, the main man, Nick, please outro yourself. Tell us where we can find you, or you have any projects you want to plug or anything?
I just well, I think on December 11th, a game came out that I was working on for a better part of 2018. I was working on Medal of Honor, the new one, Above and Beyond, and it's going to be huge. I don't know if you like those games, but this is the first AAA military sort of game where it's all strictly in VR, and it's going to be a crazy experience. And so when you kill Nazis in that game, you are most likely killing me hundreds of times. I worked with my buddy Tyler on that game. We did mocap for a long time on that. That was super fun. just got released. We did a lot of military stunts and wire work. So check it out. It'll be, I think, for the Oculus only, and I think it's out right now. And also, you can find me. Best place to follow me, I'd say, is just Instagram. It's just Nick_APOS, and then Twitter is NIK_Apostolides, my last name. So you can find me there, and in about just a few days, I'll be releasing some new artwork. I do. I take art commissions and I sell prints as well. So I'll be releasing a really, 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 really cool one in a couple days once I give it to the person who bought it. But check me out there, guys. And thank you for having me. This was really fun. It's always an honor and a pleasure speaking with fellow fans. And hope everyone has a great wrap of this weird fucking year.
Same to you, man. It
Amen
was
to
an
that.
honor talking to you.
Yeah, this was fun. So yeah, let me know when this is out, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
We will.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
How about I have one more favor for you though.
Yeah. Sure.
This is 4-hour intro, and I want you to say this line right here. Can you say it in I guess Leon Escandi's voice or your natural voice, whichever you feel comfortable right now?
I see that. Well, Leon's voice is just my voice. I didn't really change much of it at all.
Really?
No, I didn't. All I had to be mindful of per Capcom was just the intention, the energy, and the intention. So at the beginning of the game, it was really bright, like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then towards the end, it's like, "Oh, there's some shit going down." So, I didn't change my voice much. So this is my Leon voice. Maybe just sounds a little different through this mic, but I will say the line. Are you ready to record? You're recording, right?
I think we'll-
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, Ren's recording.
All right. Ready?
All right, everybody mute.
I'll wait. I can see two more I have to mute just in case. There we go. All right. This is Leon S. Kennedy, and you're watching the Infinite Ammo Syndicate podcast. If you want to survive, then remember to shoot him in the head.
That
Did
was
work for you guys?
fantastic. Yes. Yes.
That's awesome.
amazing.
Yes.
Super awesome.
Thank you.
Such an honor to have you here, man.
Yeah,
Alright.
really.
Cool, guys. You have a good night and play some fun games.
I'm playing RE2 right now.
You too,
so-
man.
Thank you so much. Nick.
Yep.
Have a nice
Lady,
holiday.
Save those-
Yeah.
Before you leave,
save
I've
those
got a
symbols
question
for the stream,
for you.
lady.
Wait, hold on. Wait, who got a question?
I
think
had
Deadman
one quick
did.
question for Nick before he signed off.
Sure.
What's up?
So you mentioned you were a big Mega Man fan. Which version of Mega Man is your favorite?
Oh,
Oh.
When you say version, you mean like the
I
X's?
think me the
versus-
series like Classic X, ZX, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
like Classic, X, Zero, Battle Network,
Legends.
Legends. Which one of those guys are your favorite?
Say zero, say zero.
Well, I might let you down.
Legends.
But again, I'm really a big nostalgia guy, and because it's what started my love affair with Capcom, I gotta go back to NES. I don't know if you guys have ever played the OGs like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Have you?
I have, but I'm more my affinity goes towards the X games.
Yeah, no, those are good. I got all into Mega Man X, X2, X3, X4. Those are great games, but the OGs just they have the specialist place in my heart, and the music is unbeatable. 3 is like should have won a soundtrack award.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my favorite
I
classic games
completely
is
get
honestly.
that.
What's up
My
there?
nostalgia goes towards Zero and the Battle Network series.
Yeah, same
So
here.
that's how I got into Mega Man.
My
Same here.
favorite Mega Man's probably it's either a toss up between 1 or 2. 1 is really good, but 2 is just out of this world.
I really like 9 and 10, more so 9, and also 11.
Yeah, I played all those.
Really good.
Me and my brother still play all of them. We just
Aw.
beat 10 and 11 as well.
Oh nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
great game.
awesome.
I like the Mega Man series, but my brother's a bigger fan of Mega Man than I am.
They're great. I
Yep.
would love to play a live action Mega Man. That would be cool.
Oh,
As I'm
yeah.
getting-
I don't know how they
Oh.
pull that off, but that'd be awesome.
I don't think they would ever pull that off, but it's
Probably not.
One day.
Cowards.
Oh, yeah.
So corny.
Getting a sinking suspicion that Nick has impeccable taste.
Oh,
Right?
he does. The best taste.
Indeed.
It's classic taste, I guess.
Yeah.
Old man taste.
Vintage, boomer vintage type. Yeah.
Boomer vintage
Boomer
taste.
vintage.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Boomer vintage.
Yeah,
That's
that's how it
accurate.
goes.
All right, take care, guys. This was fun.
You too, man.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks, Nick.
See
Take
ya.
it
All right,
easy.
have a great holiday.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yep.
Good night.
you too.
I miss
guys.
him already.
I hate you, Brendan.
I did nothing wrong.
Yeah, right.